Hello and welcome back to Vintage Treasures, and I now present to you the long-awaited room tour. I promised to 50 subscribers that I would do it, and I lied. But about 2 years later, I have decided to release it. And by release it, I mean film it. It is now November 2nd, 2024. This is probably going to be uploaded a few weeks later. I do record in advance. But yeah, this is that room tour I have been talking about for so long. So let's start this room tour with one of my favorite toy companies. This section of my room is dedicated to Kenner. It's not the only section, as I am trying to get a full run of the real Ghostbusters, with or without the exception of the Ecto-Glow figures. But I still have a couple things I need to get. I have every vehicle. I am missing some parts. But let's get a good look at this stuff. Up here I have a custom Ghostmobile, which is a custom paint I did of the Ecto-1, and has a custom unfinished gunner chair up there. I guess it's not really a gunner chair, you stand up to use it. And a custom proton pack on that Peter Venkman. I have a Spawn figure back there, and on top of it I have a Banshee bomber without his wings, unfortunately. Which is something I was after for a while, and is one of the rare toys in the Ghostbusters line. Moving over here, we have another Gooper Ghost, which I believe I had before my vacation from the channel. I think this is, I forget his name. I remember every one of them except for his name. Sludge Bucket, Squeeze? Is that it? No, that's a Motu figure. Okay. Drop his name in the comments. I have the Bug-Eyed Ghost, which I was actually after for a while, considering it's $15 is pretty insane. I have a little candy Slimer with the candy still in it, and I have the little promotional, I think that came with Fujifilm, little Ecto-1, I have 2 of those, and I have an original Cadillac ambulance, little like die-cast type thing. I have a Egon from the Ecto-Glow series. I paid $80 for this, and that ghost is just a ghost trap ghost with his eyes painted. But this is one of my crown jewels in my collection, and definitely the crown jewel of my Ghostbusters collection, that's for sure. Back here you'll see my recently acquired Ecto-2 box that came with a complete Ecto-2. We'll see more of those later as I do army build them. My favorite ghost up there, the H2 Ghost. That's my favorite. He is a little pricey considering his size. Moving back here, we have a custom I'm working on. I still have to make his robe. It's a Sam Hain. I think that's how you pronounce it. And it's scaled to be bigger than the Ghostbusters, obviously, towards that special, that scene where he's larger than the Ghostbusters. And it's hard to tell if it's brown or purple cloak, but it's purple. We have the not-so-universal monsters back there. Complete set. I got that zombie since last time I went over my collection. Fearsome Flush right there because I just didn't have anywhere else to put him. And then a broken Highway Haunter there. I need to get a new one. I bought it broken in a lot. That's a random Ghostbusters phone back there. I think I've showed that before, and I do have another green one here. I think that's Trilogy back there. It might be just the first movie. Then obviously I have the Ghost Traps in front of that. And I have a custom Super Fright Features Peter Venkman there, along with a Ghostbusters comic book, and a Ghostbusters Puzzle and Mazes book. I have 3 of Winston's Ghost. I'm not sure why that is, but I don't know. I like him. He's like a dog ghost or something. We have the custom Ecto-4 I made and had on my channel. If you want to check out that video, it is a bit dated. I have the full set with the exception of one of Gene's accessories, both of Egon's accessories and Ray's accessory. Otherwise, this set is complete. This is the Screaming Heroes, and it is a beautiful set, and I'm so glad to finish this one off, except for those accessories, of course. Down here, and I know it's a bit controversial, but this is one of my favorite sets from the Kenner Real Ghostbusters line. This is the Haunted Human set. That is not Hard Hat's actual axe. I need to buy his actual axe, but I'll probably just end up getting a new one as his wing is broken. If you look there, his wing is broken. I love this set. I want to get them carded eventually. They do run a bit, so I'm guessing I'm not the only one that thinks they're cool. I do have RoboCop here, as this is the Kenner shelf. That's my representation of RoboCop. I actually got that at a thrift store for 25 cents. Pretty good deal. I have the Gooper Ghost, Green Ghost, or Slimer manual back there. I do have the box, but I actually bought it separately. Pretty good, and I have some Silverhawks books back there. I have a complete set of the figures for the Slimed Heroes. I have 2 of the masks. It's a pain to find those masks or the ghost. So I might go out and replace them with complete ones eventually, but for now, that's good enough for me. I have a mail-away Predator, and that's my representation of the Predator by Kenner, although technically by Hasbro, because Kenner was bought out by then. And you can't have a Kenner collection without Star Wars. And I didn't have a Star Wars collection last time I filmed the video, but this is the extent of it. It is a slow-growing collection due to the price of these things. However, I forget that guy's name. It starts with a K, Clack2 maybe. I found his accessory at one place, and I found him at that same thrift store for $0.25. So that was pretty good. Got these guys at a yard sale. These are Robin Hood figures, incomplete. This line's not that expensive, but I do enjoy it. And the reuse of the superpowers and even RoboCop line, which is funny, as RoboCop stands right behind them. Got the Ecto 500, which has to be my least favorite vehicle out of the bunch of them, but it's not a bad vehicle. It's just, you have such great selections, like the Ecto 1, the Ecto 2, Ecto 3. I think this one just falls a bit short and feels a bit plain, with the minimal sticker decals on them. Actually, I can't think of any stickers on there. Here, we have another expensive set, other than the Ecto Glows and the Slimed Heroes. We have here the Power Pack Ghostbusters. Now, this set was not cheap to get, and I am still missing several bits and pieces, but I have every figure. That is a complete Louis Tolley. That is a complete Peter Venkman. That is a complete Janine Meltz. I forget how to pronounce her name. He is missing his ghost, Winston Zeddemore. Egon is missing his little disc that goes on the end. And Ray is missing absolutely everything. And if you are a Ghostbusters collector, you know how hard it is to get his pack with that little hook on the end. And he's about $60. So I've been waiting to catch a good deal on him at a toy show or something. And here we have the Ecto 3, which I love this vehicle. The steering wheel is not where it's supposed to be. And I have my spare Screaming Heroes Winston in there. And yes, this thing does have both mufflers, but is missing the blue flag. I just haven't really gotten a good chance to buy one. I hate buying that stuff off eBay because, you know, the shipping just kills any good deals you could possibly get. I also have its ghost, which I do have a spare ghost of him in the mouth of that ghost I can't name. I can drop it in the comments. And then I have the ghost with the ghost sweeper, which I do eventually have to replace this ghost sweeper because its steering wheel is missing. And this is actually, it's not attached very well. It's held in there with a pin. You can kind of see the Teflon tape in there, but it has the proton beam, so maybe I'll swap out the gun with a better one, or maybe I'll just replace that bit and the steering wheel. Time will tell. And I've been avoiding it a little bit, but now it is time to look at the Terminator collection. I was always into the Terminator line as soon as I started collecting Kenner, which I guess started with the Ghostbusters probably. And there's a lot of variants in this line. I don't think a lot of people really do realize that. There is 3 variants to that one figure where he has that squirting pack on his back. And I believe the one in the middle is Terminator 3D, but I could be wrong. And the other 2 are from the white. One of the white is from Future War, and that one's from the original set of 6 or 8, I forget. And up here we have a full set of the T1000s, with the exception of the ones that came with the BioFlesh Regenerator, and I do have a spare original one. No accessories for any of these guys, unfortunately, and that glow-in-the-dark one does look like it has to be replaced. When I do replace it, I do want to strip all the paint off this one and just get a completely glow-in-the-dark one. I think that one will look sick. up front and center here, we have the T-1000 with his little metal, like, sword-type arm. This one's a little harder to find. Sometimes he was packaged by himself with a gun, and sometimes he was packaged with a, well, Arnie's innards. I forget which model he is. That's a bit embarrassing. But I have the original release of the T-1000, and I think it's T-100. I could be wrong. Correct me in the comments. And then these are, I believe, to be the Terminator Future War release, which was a bit later when they had some rehashings of the old sculpts, like those two T-1000s right there. And you can see there is slight differences between them. Skin color and plastic color, and most definitely shirt color is more accurate on this re-release. Here I have all of their spare arms. I do not have a full set for each figure, and I'm actually missing both their missiles, so I have to track those down. I have the Awesome Claw, which is an unlicensed toy made for the Terminator line, although it never stated to be from the Terminator. That was something I was after for a while, and I got one with the brace on the back. We have a VHS copy of the Terminator Judgment Day back there, so Terminator 2, and the soundtrack on CD. We have the Mobile Assault Vehicle, I forgot to mention. We have the, oh frick, I forget the name of the bike. But we have the bike, and we have a spare. It's the same as the 1990 release, but he has the Black Claw. I don't have the Black Gun, excuse me. But I don't have that figure yet, so I have him on my spare, a little bit rougher version of the 90 Terminator figure. Here we have one of my favorite Terminator figures, which is, it's funny because he has his six-pack out there. This is something the Terminator would never wear, but he came with this really cool, like, machine gun, and his play features pretty cool. I'd love to go through this series and show all the play features. There we have John Connor. This is the Terminator 3D, I believe it is. That was at Universal Studios. You could buy those ones. And then we have some more obscure ones. These ones in the back. Future Wars, I think. These ones are a little harder to get. Not necessarily expensive, because this line is pretty cheap, but that one, and his color variant is up here on the bike. Also back there, we have the Kenner original made up. I think his name is Dr. Claw, or his name's just Claw, actually, now I think of it. And I forget his name, but I also have him. They were just made up by Kenner, just for the toy line. Last three things I have on the shelf is a box set of Terminators 1 and 2. We have that T-1000 that looks nothing like the actor who played him. And we have this Arnold Schwarzenegger, which looks very good and has a pretty good sculpt. And his outfit looks like something a Terminator would wear, and he came with a nice shotgun, and you see some kid drew on his arm with a Sharpie about 30 years ago. Over here, I have a pile of the real Ghostbusters carrying cases. I have two of them. They're storing all types of vintage goodness that I don't have out on display. And up here we have some Ninja Turtle stuff, because it spilled over a little bit. The little Burger King promotional toys. And I have a re-release. The All-Stars, I think. Oh yeah, this is right up there. The All-Star Donatello, the basketball one. Not a white jersey. Maybe they'll re-release that. I doubt it though. It's kind of obscure. And then it's a Winston Zeddemore body with a movie 2 Michelangelo head on his shoulders. I made that out of broken figures I had. Looks pretty cool. Moving over to the spot behind my door, this is still in development. I have a little Michael Jackson poster right there, and a California raisin up there, and I have most of my Origin stuff here. You know, there's a vinyl down there because it looked cool, and I have Ninja Turtle cards here, the file cards, but this is still definitely in development, and then I have all this beautiful stuff over here to look at. Right on this spine right here of the wall, I guess it's a weird thing to say, the spine of the wall, I have The Invisible Woman from 1994, Fantastic Four, and below it I have the re-release of The Thing. I wish they would have released him in his trench coat like they did in the vintage one, but I can see why they didn't. Fantastic Four, Invisible Woman. She seems to be the cheapest in any set that she's in, but I do want to get the rest of those especially the Punishers. They're pretty cool. Then I have some just random stuff down there. Yeah, just a lot of stuff to go through here. Like, I went to the Imperial Castle in Pauling, New York, and got a lot of stuff, and I kept this one in the bag because he had no accessories. So I was like, okay, that'd be cool to have that there. Some more Origins. These are the first Origins I got. And then I have an original Haunted Mansion poster from Disneyland. That is from the 1964, I believe. I am somewhat of a fanatic for the Disney parks. Not so much the movies, but the parks. I really, really dig the parks. They're really cool, the animatronics and stuff. And looking up here, we have my Police Academy collection. And it's not huge, but also the line's not huge. And obviously, my favorite figure, or favorite character from the line is Larvell Jones. It's honestly, no one competes with him. You know, the sound effects, it's pretty cool. He comes with a blowhorn, and he comes with a walkie-talkie, which is pretty cool. And then I have the second series of him without his backpack. And Zed, I have his second series figure, and that's it, because those are pretty expensive. So I get it slowly, you know. And then I have most of the first series. I have all the first series good guys, most of them with a good amount of accessories. Mahoney doesn't have his dog or his gun. Tackleberry's missing his vest, but for the most part, it looks pretty good. And as I mentioned a couple years ago, I got my hands on... Jeez, I forgot what this thing's called, but it's the police car they have. I got gifted these beautiful handcuffers and the loudmouth blowhorn. Those are in the boxes, and they're not sealed, but that's even better. Near mint condition. Those things are beautiful, and yeah, great display right there. It just looks really good. And moving down a shelf, we get a lovely look at even more Ghostbusters stuff. We have a 1988 action toy guide from Kenner. Skee-Ball, RoboCop, Bone Age, starting lineup, and the real Ghostbusters, don't know why I read them in that order, are advertised on here and in here, and you can see some beautiful stuff in there. I'd love to get my hands on more of those. And then most of my roleplay Ghostbusters stuff is over here. The Ghost Zapper, the claw thing. I'm not good with the names here. I have a PKE meter, but it's missing two of the spokes on the side, as it usually is. Original 1984 copy of the Ghostbusters on VHS, along with some of the Burger King promotional toys, or McDonald's rather. I have 3 of that one. My childhood one is in the back there. I have a mint one, and then I have one in the package. So yes, they are all necessary to my collection. And as you can probably tell by looking at this, this is my little Stay Puft area. I also have, that came with the Ghost Popper and Ecto Goggles, that little cutout, which I actually still don't have that set complete. That is a little pencil topper with Slimer on it that came from that McDonald's set. And I have my replica Ghostbusters 1984 belt in there. And one or more of those cameras that came with that Fuji film. Over here on this side, I have my Firehouse, which if you've been watching my channel, you'll see I got this for a steal. I have my original set of 87 Ghostbusters, and that is a bottom loader Egon Spangler complete right there. A beautiful figure, and I'd love to have a complete set of bottom loaders, but that'll do for now. That is great. Egon's such a great sculpt. Rest in peace, Harold Ramis. The beams on Peter Venkman and Winston Zeddemore are replaced. I use the Toy Polloi method. Great YouTube channel if you're looking to fix toys, but I doubt that you haven't already seen his videos. I have a complete, pristine white Ecto-1 there, complete with the gunner chair, and the belt isn't broken. My Slimer is missing his steak, unfortunately, but he has his watermelon and his pizza, and I have some random odds and ends back there. And then up here, I have a complete set of Fright features, with the exception of Winston Zeddemore's ghost. Looking up here, you will see the new to me at least, Ecto 2 I got complete with the belt, completely. It's in great condition. It's complete. The chrome is beautiful on the wheels. The stickers are a little loose, but I can't complain. The thing's, 30-something years old. And then I have one that's almost complete. That belt has been reattached by yours truly, and he's missing a propeller, but other than that, he is complete. His chrome's okay. This one is a little worse for wear, but it still looks great in display, and this one needs a lot of work. I have my, what is that? Extreme Ghostbusters Egon Spangler in there, and I look to get a Winston. I'm going to a toy show soon, so hopefully I get a Winston there to complete this set of 4. Over here, this is a collection that has grown significantly since last time I have uploaded on my channel. We have some of the movie figures here. Still haven't really found that really expensive one that likes to break because he's made out of brown plastic. We have He-Man on Battle Cat and Skeletor on Panther. Some activity books back there and paint by number. That Orko is not sealed, and that is not an original manual. I am still looking for the mini comic, but that is vintage. The Orko and the card back are vintage, but it's pretty rough. I paid $8 for that on eBay, which is pretty good. We have a faker there with Anti-Eternia He-Man armor on and all of his accessories. A beautiful, pristine Evelyn in front of, and she's complete, obviously, and she's in front of a complete Clawful, which is one of my favorite figures. We have a fixed and repaired Cyclone on a Road Ripper. Boy, how I wish that was blue. We have a Extendar back there. Unfortunately, no accessories, but he does extend. There's a cord for the Road Ripper. It is not broken. The top is at the bottom. We have the tree to the Fright Zone because it wouldn't fit on display the other way. We have an Origins Snout Spout there. A Roboto. We have an Attack Track here with a Battle Damage He-Man and a Mechanic, a Prince Adam, yada yada yada. You can see up here we have Fisto, Tila, and Orko. And this is the first of 2 shelves. I also have the dollar store Masters of the Universe figures, including a custom Wonder Bread He-Man that I have to come back to and make it look a little better. Got this in a lot. That sticker right back, those stickers right back there came with the Masters of the Universe Classics figures. You could choose to put those on the bubbles. Not many people did, though. I don't have any classics yet. Here we have the Fright Zone, which is complete with the exception of the puppet, of course. We have a Stinkor down there, and we have another Stinkor here. We have a Origins, Claw, I forget his name, it's the one with the claws, the Skeletor with the claws. A Web Store, a, geez, why are the names slipping my mind when I film? I swear I could recite these at any time besides when I'm filming. Well, in front of him, we have the Snake Men, we have Rattler, and we have King Hiss. And we have the Anti-Eternia He-Man. I have him posed as though he's a vintage figure, but obviously he's not. We have Cobra Khan back there. We have a complete Too Bad, a incomplete Beastman, and a incomplete Trapjaw, which I looked to get complete, and a custom Meteor that I made, because the vintage ones are expensive. Here we have my Horde. I want to get the full set, and I still need to buy a Horde Trooper, but if you're a collector, you know exactly why I don't have one. I don't want to bankrupt myself, but here we have a beautiful drag store, which we need in the Origins line. I'm trying to get the full set. That Modulock just got announced recently. We have Grizzlor. They did Mattel just like, they flipped the bird on us when they made that an online exclusive after letting us have all the other figures. This is Modulock. This is the vintage one. Of course, they didn't re-release him yet. That is a Mosquitoer I paid $40 for, and he comes with his gun. I got that at a toy show. That was a steal, and yes, he does still pump his blood. I have a Hordak here with a replaced cape, and he's unfortunately missing his bat, but I look to change that soon. A complete Leech back there, and an incomplete Mantenna, but he has beautiful eyes. Those like to rub terribly. And then some spare parts there, and it looks like the decapitated either Prince Adam or He-Man. That really does suck for him. Down here on the floor, because I ran out of space, we have a bunch of plush in front of the front half of the shell of a Castle Grayskull. So there's just a bunch of plush, some modern Universal Monster ones right there. I don't collect modern a lot, as you can probably tell. And some vintage Alf, and the little Alf clingers, and a, geez, his name's slipping my mind, I swear. It only happens when I'm filming. Urkel, Steve Urkel doll. There we go. Have some VHS back there, of course. And we have my almost complete, Eternia. Eternia, jeez. Castle Grayskull. I really need to sleep more. Over here we have a Pink Floyd hat, but we also have a bunch of carded stuff. I have almost a full run of Tick figures. I'm missing 4, that being the second series Tick, Mucus Tick, the Chameleon, and Arthur, Fluttering Arthur. So other than that, that line is complete, and that is beautiful. For the little mini figures, which are die cast, I have all the good guys. I need all the bad guys. And Dinosaur Neil is a real pain to get if you're a Tick collector. All 5 of you out there that are Tick collectors know how hard it is to get Dinosaur Neil as one of those mini die cast. We have Terminator 2, T-1000. Beautiful. I got that from Imperial Castle. I paid $20 for that, which is pretty good. He is mint on card. Back there, those are not vintage, those are the re-releases. I put priority on the vintage ones, so those vintage cards are in the front, and those are the re-releases. An Ecto 3 box, original, and a Gooper Ghost, Green Ghost, or Slimer box, which I still actually don't have that Slimer, but I bought his instructions and his box. Some Dick Tracy blowouts there, and we have shoulders, Prune Face, and the Tramp, all carded, and that's just the start of my Dick Tracy collection. Over here on this wall, we have my little tribute to Michael Jackson. Everything here is related to Michael Jackson. His love of Disneyland, his purchase of the Beatles, he appeared in The Simpsons, and Free Willy. Of course, he also visited Creative Engineering, and actually had some of the Rockfire Explosion songs were Michael Jackson songs, so that's great. I have a Toys R Us card. I actually found that on the side of the road, if you could believe that. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, but they're all loosely related to Michael Jackson. And then there's obvious stuff like his VHSs and his tapes and the dolls back there. But I like that. I mean, it's cool to have a little tribute to, you know, someone inspirational like that. And then we have some vintage pins back there. There's an Entenmann's one. And then my favorite here is probably Come Work With Us at Toys R Us. Very vintage. It's very cool. We have this little unit shelf here. Little Jim Carrey section. Ace Ventura and the mask. And then that's mostly the mask. They didn't make a lot of merchandise for Ace Ventura. Taco Bell did have toys though. So be on the lookout for those. Those are pretty cool. A little mix there. Swamp Thing and some... I believe those are from... Dino Riders, vintage 70s Fire Chief, little wind-up car, and my McDonald's collection has severely shrunk since last time I've showed it, but it still looks great. Right up here, we have my Batman collection. Batman 89, of course, and I love this movie. I have the card packs, I have that wax box up there, just the display is just beautiful. It has marker on it, but, you know, you can only expect so much. You know, that these things weren't kept preserved. We have the complete Batmobile. Has a scuff on there. I forgot to take that off. And then a custom on there that I will show you shortly. And then some of the figures. These are not the original 89 figures. These are from the early 90s. They're more accurate towards the movie. And here we have stone protectors. And we have... Thundercats over here. We have Lino and we have Vulture. What a creative name that is. These carded turtles. I'm trying to get a full set of these wacky action turtles. Here's Splinter. Here's Rocksteady. And there is Splinter. Obviously, there is a sorely missing Bebop figure here, but I will say these two have been recarded. That one done a lot better, but that one was in rough condition. This is a foreign Tortoise Ninja. I don't know what accent that was, but I hope it fit with wherever this is from. And here is the other part of my Dick Tracy collection. I have my favorite figures up here, or the ones that are important at least. Like we have slipping my mind again. Sam Ketchum, Dick Tracy. Jeez, it is slipping my mind. I swear, any other time I'd remember. And Flat Top is my favorite character of all time. I have everything they released for the vintage line, which isn't a lot. I have a carded one, I have a complete one off card, and I have the PVC, which I have all the PVCs in the back there, with the exception of the secondary Dick Tracy, who has his gun up. These are mostly complete, for the most part. I'm missing, like, his detonator. I need his detonator. Itchy's missing his belt. Some of them are missing, like, their belt and stuff, but mostly complete. I almost had the whole line. I need those two cars, excuse me, and they're very expensive. Over in this section is mostly Turtles, but it is a Mod Podge, and I'd love to show every part of it. Right, we have a little monster section. I only have one Toxic Crusader, but hopefully that'll change soon. But I have a, geez, names are just not my thing when I'm filming. I'm sure I'm not the only person that happens to, but I forget what that's from, that alien back there. Please drop it in the comments so you can make me feel like a fool. But we have all this stuff here, some trash bag bunch. We have the little, like, there's some Muscle Men mixed in there, but just that kind of scale. There's a Serial Premium in the front there. We have a Primal Rage figure from my childhood, along with a Bucky O'Hare figure, being Bucky O'Hare, Food Fighter, and just this little random, probably 25-cent machine, like little ninja star from Karate Kid. I'm Back to the Future section here with E.T. right there for some reason. I have a book collection, mostly Mad magazines and like mini comic books in that scale. And I have my little Gremlin section here, and I mean little, I really do mean it. More plush over here, along with Mad magazines. Right there. These are cleaning toothbrush, by the way. Then we have a bunch of random stuff up here, odds and ends. Really love this section. It's right near my TV. And yeah, that just extends up to the bottom of this right here. And this is the start of the Turtles collection, which used to be my biggest, but I think Ghostbusters is pretty close, if not is doing better than my Ninja Turtle collection. I got an original, almost mint condition Leonardo without his belt or accessories at a yard sale for $1. So no reason to haggle there. Everything else here, I believe I already had. Anything significant, at least. Up here, I have my cassette player. And I have these rare, these are like those vending machine things you put coins in and a piece of cardboard comes out with a sticker. I believe that's what those are from. If not, tell me in the comments. Those kind of sticker cards, along with all this stuff. Merchandising mostly. I have a puzzle up there, and I have the comics up there, and yeah, it's just nice. I have two of the giant mutating turtles. I got that Donatello for $30 on eBay, because they didn't describe it as being anything bigger than the standard figure, and those are custom wood accessories, which I hope to replace with 3D printed ones. We have the head droppers and the standard size mutation turtles. Mixed in are the first set of variant turtles with Space Cadet Raph, Super Samurai Leo, Super Surfing Mike, and Detective Donatello back there. I think that's his name, or Undercover Donatello, rather. And then we have a talking book over here for like little kids. It has a marker, and it has those reusable stickers. So that thing is complete, and it is beautiful. Right down here, we have my turtle playset with a couple spare bits up there. A turtle fanny pack that does not fit me, and the movie figures up front here. And I have Super Shredder, again with one of those cards there. One of the Tokas, and I have both variants of Razar. Pink Nose, which is the one I had as a kid. This is not my original. and the regular standard, easier to find release of Razar. Their leg pegs, the pins that hold in their legs, is very brittle, so be careful. That one has had his legs repaired. And these are all those bootlegs that I repainted, almost 2 years ago. And then the knockoff accessory with an original, genuine Splinter from the second movie. And this is the meat and potatoes of my collection. The good guy shelf and the bad guy shelf. And I have 3 foot soldiers now, which is a great accomplishment. It is a bit dusty in there that I look. But if you're a collector of anything, you know how fast dust can accumulate. And there is a bunch of figures in there. I mean, I couldn't possibly go through all of them. But I have my favorites up in the front, or at least the most complete ones. Right here, we have the 2013 re-releases of Bebop and Rocksteady from Toys R Us. Those are the first collector's items I ever got, and I kept them carded. And we have some of the Toon Turtles. They do run down all the way through here, but it's just covered in other Turtles things. With an original Donatello with no accessories. A Neutrino hanging from the ceiling. I need to get the Toon Neutrino so I can get the full set of 3, and then have him, because he was released by himself for some reason. The other version of him has different colors on him. So there's a variant there. Metal Mutants, Donatello on card, and then that's Space Apollo 11 Donatello on card, and then we have some of the retro re-releases up here, but those aren't really that important. And then behind there is a carded 1989 Sewer Samurai Leo. Yeah, that is the one. We have a wax box here, which I got from Imperial Castle. I paid $60 for it, I believe. It is missing the poster, but it is beautiful and is not marked up with marker, which is a little harder to find. Got this glove for about 17 bucks off eBay recently. We have more candy dispensers and such, along with that giant re-release, which honestly, I'm going to be honest, they do not look that good, and I'm glad I didn't buy the whole set. We have a Hostess card that came with the Turtle Pies, is my understanding. The re-release of the Pizza Shooter, which I could not resist. We have the guitar, my guitar over there, but we also have the Krang pop vinyl, which is one of 2 pop vinyls I have in my collection, the other being Gizmo. The Coming Out of the Shells tour, a random VHS, the little arcade machine they made, and, just random bits and bobs. I do also have just VHS down there, Spaceballs, I love that movie, can't wait for the second one. And I'm stockpiling on Jurassic Park, and every VHS behind here is E.T. I'm going and just buying them if they're less than $1, because it's funny. And then that's all DS stuff down there, but I am looking to get the other Nintendo handhelds. Okay, so that's my collection. That's my room. That's my collection room tour. And hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do like the video. And consider subscribing to the channel, because I upload every Wednesday. And hopefully I will continue to do that. I did recently take a large break, if you have been here for a while. But, yeah, stick around if you want to see Sam Hain get finished. And see how that looks. And just, honestly, see my collection grow, and watch me review toys if you enjoy this type of content. And yeah, have a great rest of your day or night, and goodbye.